Have you ever wanted authority, influence, promotion, or increase while your inner life was still scattered? You wanted God to enlarge your territory, but your habits were inconsistent. You wanted doors to open, but obedience was delayed. You wanted people to trust your voice, but your emotions were still governing your decisions. You wanted a bigger platform, a greater assignment, a wider measure of responsibility, but your focus was broken. Your time was leaking, and too many things God already told you to finish were still unfinished. I want you to hear me clearly. Dominion never begins with controlling circumstances. Dominion begins with governing yourself. Many people are praying for authority over mountains, but they have not yet taken authority over their morning. They want to cast down giants in public, but they are still being defeated by private disorder. They want influence, but they cannot govern appetite. They want promotion, but they cannot govern attitude. They want increase, but they cannot govern time. This is why frustration comes. You are asking God for more, but resisting the discipline that qualifies you to carry more. You are praying for dominion, but rejecting self-government. And that is dangerous, because whatever you refuse to govern inwardly will eventually dominate you outwardly. If you do not govern your thoughts will govern your peace. If you do not govern your emotions will govern your relationships. If you do not govern your time, distractions will govern your future. You cannot dominate what you cannot govern. That is a law, not a suggestion, not a motivational statement, a law. The first territory God gives every person is not land, not business, not ministry, not influence, not money. The first territory God gives you is self, your body, your mind, your desires, your decisions, your schedule, your habits, your reactions, your inner life. Before God asks you to manage nations, He watches how you manage yourself. Some of you are not lacking calling. You are lacking government. You are not lacking anointing. You are lacking order. You are not lacking dreams. You are lacking discipline. And until your internal world comes under authority, your external assignment will keep overwhelming you. Peace will feel temporary. Progress will feel accidental. Momentum will start and stop because there is no law within you strong enough to keep purpose moving when feelings change. So this teaching is not to condemn you, it is to awaken you, because the disorder you have been calling failure may simply be ungoverned territory. The confusion you have been tolerating may be an invitation to establish order. The delays you have been frustrated by may be God protecting you from an increase your current structure could not sustain. Stay with this teaching. Listen with honesty. Do not listen for someone else. Listen for your own life. Ask yourself, where am I asking for dominion while refusing discipline? Where am I asking God to trust me publicly while I remain careless privately? And if you are making a decision today to become the kind of person God can trust with greater responsibility, then subscribe, stay connected, and let this word work on you. Because your next level will not begin when everything around you changes. It will begin when government rises within you. Now, to understand why this order is so dangerous, you must go back to the beginning. You cannot understand dominion by starting with your frustration. You must start with God's intention. Genesis says, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion. That means dominion was not man's idea. Authority was not man's ambition. Influence was not man's invention. God designed mankind to carry government in the earth. But hear me carefully. God never gave dominion without responsibility. He did not create man to be reckless with power. He created man to reflect his nature. Image came before dominion. Likeness came before authority. Before man was told to rule, man was made to resemble God. That means your authority is connected to your alignment. You were never designed to exercise dominion while misrepresenting the nature of the one who gave it. And what is the nature of God? God is a God of order. Look at creation. Before God placed man in the earth, He organized the environment man would occupy. He separated light from darkness. He separated the waters. He caused dry land to appear. He established seasons, days, days, nights, signs, cycles, boundaries, and systems. God did not create Adam and drop him into chaos. He placed man inside an ordered world and then gave him responsibility to manage it. This is powerful. Before there was human dominion, there was divine order. Before God said, let them have dominion, he had already established structure. That means order is the atmosphere where dominion functions. Confusion is not the climate of kingdom authority. Chaos is not the soil where purpose grows. If your life is constantly confused, constantly scattered, constantly reacting, constantly breaking down, then you must ask yourself a sober question: whose order am I living under? 1 Corinthians 14:33 says, for God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. That is not just a church verse, that is a life verse, that is a government verse, that is a dominion verse. If God is not the author of confusion, then confusion is evidence that something in your life has moved outside divine order. Wherever confusion rules, divine order has been neglected. Wherever peace is absent, structure has been violated. Wherever chaos continues, government has been surrendered. Some people want to call everything spiritual warfare, but sometimes it is simply disorder. Your bills are not organized. Your time is not organized. Your thoughts are not organized. Your priorities are not organized. Your appetites are not organized. And then you wonder why peace keeps leaving. Peace does not remain where order is resisted. Peace follows alignment. Peace follows structure. Peace follows obedience. Peace follows government. Now, when the Bible speaks of dominion, it is not talking about dominating people. Dominion is not control. Dominion is not manipulation. Dominion is not using authority to crush somebody else. Kingdom dominion is faithful management of what God has assigned to you. It is managing your territory, managing your gift, managing your mind, managing your emotions, managing your time, managing your body, managing your appetite, managing your influence, managing the space God has trusted you to cultivate. You are not in dominion because people fear you. You are in dominion when what God placed under your care begins to flourish because you govern it according to his order. That is why Adam was placed in the garden to dress it and keep it. He was not placed there just to enjoy provision. He was placed there to manage responsibility. The garden was blessing, but it was also assignment. It had beauty, but it required stewardship. It had abundance, but it required government. This is where many people misunderstand increase. They think if God gives them more, they will become disciplined. No, more does not create order. More exposes disorder. More money exposes financial government. More influence exposes emotional government. More opportunity exposes time government. More responsibility exposes private structure. If you are confused with little, more will not cure confusion. It will multiply it. So God watches order before he releases authority. He watches how you handle small territory before he expands your borders. He watches how you govern your room, your schedule, your mouth, your thoughts, your cravings, your commitments, your present assignment. Because kingdom authority is not released into disorder. God entrusts dominion to people who reflect his order. Do not ask for nations if you will not govern your habits. Do not ask for influence if you will not govern your tongue. Do not ask for wealth if you will not govern your spending. Do not ask for platforms if you will not govern your private life. Dominion is not a gift for the careless. Dominion is a trust for the ordered. So the question becomes unavoidable. If God gave man authority over the earth, why would he trust a person with territory they cannot steward from within? Because the first government God examines is not the government of your business, your ministry, your family, or your future. The first government he examines is the government of self. The first nation you must lead is your own life. Your mind is territory. Your emotions are territory. Your appetite is territory. Your habits are territory. Your schedule is territory. Your body is territory. And if there is no law operating inside that territory, then anything can invade it. Self-government is the internal rule of spirit-led discipline over appetite, emotion, impulse, distraction, and convenience. It is when your spirit, submitted to God, rises up and tells your flesh, you will not run this house. It is when purpose becomes stronger than preference. It is when obedience becomes stronger than mood. It is when what God said becomes more authoritative in your life than what you feel in the moment. Now listen carefully. A person can desire leadership publicly and still be privately ruled. Ruled by feelings, ruled by cravings, ruled by excuses, ruled by delay, ruled by offense, ruled by entertainment, ruled by comfort, ruled by whatever screams the loudest. And that is why some people want authority, but they are not free. They have ambition, but no government. They have dreams, but no discipline. They have vision, but no walls. Proverbs 25:28 says, he that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. That is powerful. A person without self-control is not compared to someone having a bad day. He is compared to a city with broken walls. In ancient times, walls protected identity, economy, families, gates, resources, and future. If the walls were broken, enemies did not need permission. They just entered. They took what they wanted. They occupied what was not defended. That is what happens when you lack self-government. Your destiny becomes vulnerable. Your peace becomes vulnerable. Your focus becomes vulnerable. Your relationships become vulnerable. Your calling becomes vulnerable. Every temptation has easy access. Every distraction walks through the gate. Every emotion sits on the throne. Every appetite begins to legislate your decisions, and you keep wondering why you cannot hold progress. Discipline is not punishment. Get that out of your mind. Discipline is protection. Discipline is structure. Discipline is preparation. Discipline is the wall around purpose. It does not come to imprison you. It comes to protect what God placed inside you. A schedule is not bondage when it protects your assignment. A boundary is not bondage when it protects your purity. A budget is not bondage when it protects your stewardship. Saying no is not bondage when it protects your yes. Some of you have been calling discipline restriction because your appetite wants permission to remain king. But appetite was never designed to rule you. Emotion was never designed to rule you. Convenience was never designed to rule you. These things are servants, not sovereigns. They have a place, but they do not have a throne. When feelings become government, purpose becomes unstable. When cravings become government, destiny becomes delayed. When convenience becomes government, greatness becomes impossible. So stop measuring your readiness by what you want publicly. Measure it by what you govern privately. Can you govern your mouth when you are angry? Can you govern your thoughts when fear comes? Can you govern your appetite when desire rises? Can you govern your time when distraction calls? Can you govern your obedience when nobody is watching? That is where dominion begins. Because before God gives you more to manage around you, He watches how you manage what is happening within you. He watches your response before He increases your responsibility. He watches your stewardship before He expands your territory. He watches your private government before He releases public authority. Do not ask God to enlarge your borders while refusing to rebuild your walls. Do not ask Him for greater influence while your inner city is open to every invader. Start here. Govern your thoughts. Govern your emotions. Govern your appetite. Govern your time. Govern your words. Govern your reactions. Put your life under the order of God. Because when self-government rises, confusion loses access. Peace returns. Focus returns. Strength returns. Clarity returns. And the life that once felt invaded begins to look protected, prepared, and ready for purpose. Now, this is where you must understand discipline correctly. Because many people are waiting for the wrong thing. They are waiting to feel ready. They are waiting to feel strong. They are waiting to feel inspired. They are waiting for the emotion to come, the excitement to come, the push to come, the moment to come. But I want you to hear me clearly. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is governmental. Motivation visits. Discipline rules. Motivation can encourage you, but it cannot govern you. Motivation may start you, but it cannot sustain you. Motivation is affected by weather, sleep, people, disappointment, pressure, and feelings. But discipline is the law you establish inside yourself, so purpose does not have to wait for your emotions. You cannot build destiny on feelings. Feelings fluctuate. Purpose remains. Appetite demands. Destiny requires. Comfort invites. Discipline commands. If your life only moves when your emotions agree, then your emotions have become your government. And whatever governs you determines where you go. This is why undisciplined people become servants of mood. They work when they are inspired. They pray when they are desperate. They plan when they are pressured. They change only when consequences arrive. They do not move because purpose called. They move because pain shouted. And that is a dangerous way to live, because if pain is the only teacher you obey, then you will keep needing crisis to produce correction. Discipline says, I do what must be done because it is right, not because it is easy. Discipline says, I rise when comfort tells me to stay down. Discipline says, I obey when delay feels more convenient. Discipline says, I keep my commitment when the feeling that made the commitment has left. That is internal government. Some of you are still negotiating with your flesh every morning. Should I pray? Should I get up? Should I forgive? Should I finish? Should I organize? Should I obey? Why is there still a debate? The assignment is already spoken. The vision is already spoken. The word of God is already spoken. Stop allowing your mood to reopen cases that purpose has already settled. Galatians 5 says, the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Temperance means self-control. So self-control is not merely a personality trait. It is not just a productivity method. It is not just something organized people are born with. Self-control is fruit of the Spirit. That means when the Spirit of God is governing your life, He produces the power to govern yourself. Do not tell me you are spiritual if your appetite has no boundaries. Do not tell me you are mature if your emotions still make your decisions. Do not tell me you are ready for dominion if convenience can cancel your obedience. The Spirit does not only make you shout, He makes you stable. He makes you governed. He makes you faithful when nobody is watching. He gives you power to tell your flesh you are not in charge here. Discipline is not the absence of desire. It is the proper government of desire. You may still want to quit. You may still want to delay. You may still want to indulge. You may still want to react. But discipline rises inside you and says, that desire will not rule this house. That is maturity. That is order. That is dominion beginning on the inside. So stop waiting for motivation. Build law. Establish standards. Set your prayer time. Set your work time. Set your boundaries. Set your priorities. Decide before the temptation comes. Decide before the tiredness comes. Decide before the invitation comes. Decide before your feelings change. Because if you wait until the moment of pressure to choose, you have already given pressure too much authority. The disciplined person does not ask every day, how do I feel? The disciplined person asks, what does purpose require? That question will deliver you from emotional slavery. What does purpose require from my body? What does purpose require from my time? What does purpose require from my mouth? What does purpose require from my money? What does purpose require from my relationships? What does purpose require from my obedience? This is how internal law is formed. You repeat obedience until it becomes order. You repeat order until it becomes character. You repeat character until it becomes capacity. And capacity becomes the place where God can trust you with more. I know it is not always easy. There will be days when your feelings are absent, comfort is calling, and delay feels easier. There will be days when nobody claps, nobody checks, nobody encourages, nobody sees, but heaven sees. Your future sees. Your assignment sees. And every time you choose discipline over mood, you are building a government strong enough to carry your destiny. So make a decision Not a wish, not a temporary emotion, a decision. Put law in your inner world. Stop letting feelings vote on your future. Stop letting appetite write the constitution of your life. Stop letting comfort become king. Discipline yourself under God's order, and you will discover that what once controlled you must now serve you. Because when discipline becomes internal law, purpose no longer waits for inspiration. Obedience becomes consistent. Focus becomes protected. Peace becomes stable. Progress becomes predictable. And your life begins to announce, I am not ruled by mood anymore. I am governed by purpose. Now, this is where many people lose what their gift helped them access. They have vision, but no schedule. They have talent, but no consistency. They have charisma, but no emotional control. They have dreams, but no daily structure. They can talk about destiny, but they cannot manage Monday. They can describe the future, but they cannot govern their present habits. I want you to understand this. Gifts can open doors, but discipline determines whether you can remain in the room. Your gift may get attention. Your gift may create opportunity. Your gift may bring people close. But if there is private disorder underneath the gift, the same door that opened for you can become the place where your lack of government is exposed. What you refuse to govern privately will eventually limit what you can carry publicly. If you do not govern your emotions in secret, pressure will reveal it in public. If you do not govern your appetite when nobody is watching, temptation will expose it when responsibility increases. If you do not govern your time in the small seasons, you will not suddenly become wise when the demand becomes greater. Do not be deceived by visibility. Public authority rests on hidden foundations. A building does not stand because of what people admire above ground. It stands because of what was established beneath the surface. In the same way, your life will not stand because people clap for your gift. It will stand because your private world has order. Some people have money but no budget. That is disorder. They have time but no priorities. That is disorder. They have speech but no restraint. That is disorder. They have desire but no boundaries. That is disorder. They have leadership but no character. That is dangerous. Because leadership without character becomes damage. Talent without discipline becomes instability. Influence without self-control becomes a burden to everyone connected to you. This is why God does not only examine what you can do, He examines what you can sustain. He watches how you treat the little. He watches how you handle the hidden. He watches what you do when the audience leaves, when the excitement fades, when the pressure rises, when nobody is calling your name. Luke 16:10 says, He that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much. That means the little thing is not little. The little thing is the test. The small habit is the prophecy. The private decision is the seed of public authority. God is watching your little obedience, your little schedule, your little budget, your little attitude, your little response, your little assignment. Because faithfulness in little things reveals the government of the heart. Stop despising small discipline. The way you handle small time reveals how you will handle large responsibility. The way you handle small money reveals how you will handle increase. The way you handle small correction reveals how you will handle promotion. The way you handle small offense reveals how you will handle influence. Your habits are speaking before your platform ever arrives. The issue is not whether you have potential. Many people have potential. The cemetery is full of potential. The earth is full of gifted people who never became governed people. Potential is not enough. Anointing is not enough. Vision is not enough. You must have structure strong enough to sustain what God placed inside you. So ask yourself honestly, can my private life carry my public desire? Can my hidden habits support my visible dream? Can my character sustain my charisma? Can my discipline protect my destiny? Because if the foundation is weak, elevation becomes dangerous. God is not trying to embarrass you by requiring discipline. He is trying to protect what He placed in you. He is trying to build walls before increase comes. He is trying to establish order before exposure comes. He is trying to make sure that when the door opens, you do not destroy the opportunity because your private life was never governed. So start rebuilding where no one applauds. Govern your money, govern your time, govern your tongue, govern your desires, govern your attitude, govern your commitments. Be faithful in the little thing until faithfulness becomes your nature. Because private order creates public strength. Hidden discipline creates visible authority. And the person who can be trusted in secret can be trusted with territory. Now hear this clearly. Increase is not proof that you are ready. Increase is a test of what you have already built. Many people are asking God for more, but they are mismanaging now. More money, but they have no budget. More influence, but they have neglected character. More opportunity, but they have ignored preparation. More responsibility, but they are careless with the responsibility already in their hands. You cannot keep praying for overflow while leaking stewardship. You cannot ask God to multiply what you refuse to manage. You cannot ask Him for a bigger door while you are still careless with the small assignment. Because increase does not create capacity. Capacity must be built before increase comes. This is the stewardship principle. God does not measure readiness by desire alone. He measures readiness by management. What are you doing with what you already have? How are you handling your time? How are you treating your body? How are you governing your mind? How are you stewarding relationships? How are you completing assignments? How are you managing resources? Heaven watches the present before it releases the future. Some people say, if I had more, I would do better. No, more only reveals the government that is already there. If you waste $10, you will waste 10,000. If you are careless with 1 hour, you will be careless with a larger schedule. If you are unfaithful in a hidden task, visibility will not make you faithful. It will only make your disorder more expensive. God does not bless you to expose you. He prepares you so the blessing does not destroy you. That is why delay is not always denial. Sometimes delay is construction. God is building the structure that your next level will require. He is building patience. He is building consistency. He is building restraint. He is building wisdom. He is building discipline. Because a blessing without capacity can become a burden. Imagine a person praying for a business, but they will not organize their personal finances. Imagine someone praying for a platform, but they cannot control their emotions under pressure. Imagine someone asking for leadership, but they refuse correction. Imagine someone asking for marriage, but they have not governed selfishness. The issue is not that God is against increase. The issue is that increase placed on disorder creates collapse. Capacity is not built by wishing. Capacity is built by systems, routines, boundaries, planning, repetition, consistent obedience. You create capacity when you put your mornings in order. You create capacity when you assign your money before your appetite spends it. You create capacity when you plan your week before distractions invade it. You create capacity when you set boundaries around your body, your mind, your conversations, your relationships, and your commitments. Do not despise systems. Systems sustain success. A routine is not small when it protects your destiny. A calendar is not small when it protects your assignment. A budget is not small when it protects your increase. A boundary is not small when it protects your peace. These are not just natural tools. They are stewardship structures. The Bible says, moreover, it is required in stewards that a man be found faithful. Not famous, faithful. Not emotional, faithful. Not gifted, faithful. Faithfulness is the language of stewardship. Faithfulness says, I can be trusted with this day. Faithfulness says, I can be trusted with this body. Faithfulness says, I can be trusted with this assignment. Faithfulness says, I will not wait for more before I become responsible. Stop asking for the next level while neglecting the current one. Clean what is already in your hands. Organize what is already under your authority. Finish what you already started. Repair what you already damaged. Steward the present until it becomes evidence that you are ready for more. Because increase follows capacity. And capacity is built through disciplined stewardship of the present. Not someday, not when the money comes, not when the people recognize you, not when the door opens. No. Capacity begins now, in the hidden place, in the ordinary day, in the repeated decision to do what is right before anyone rewards you. So stop making excuses. Stop saying, I don't have enough. Start managing what you have. Stop saying, I don't have time. Start governing the time you have. Stop saying, I'll change when things get bigger. Start putting your life in order while things are still small. Because the person who is faithful with little is already preparing for much. Your next season is looking for capacity. Your assignment is looking for order. Your future is looking for a steward. And when you stop making excuses and start putting your life in order, you begin to create the capacity that increase can safely rest upon. Now we must go deeper, because many people try to organize the outside while the inside is still in rebellion. They clean the room, but their mind is still cluttered. They fix the schedule, but their emotions are still in control. They change the environment, but they never confront the thoughts that keep producing the same disorder. And I want you to hear me clearly. Your outer life cannot remain ordered while your inner world is under illegal government. Everything visible has an invisible root. Ungoverned thoughts create ungoverned words. Ungoverned words create ungoverned actions. Ungoverned actions create an ungoverned life. So if you keep trying to change the fruit while ignoring the root, you will keep repeating the same cycle. You will apologize for the same reaction. You will restart the same habit. You will promise the same change. You will clean up the same mess, because the issue was never only around you. It was within you. This is why self-government must reach the soul. Your mind must be governed. Your emotions must be governed. Your desires must be governed. Your imagination must be governed. Your memories must be governed. Your inner conversations must be governed. Because whatever is allowed to rule inside you will eventually express itself through you. Do not let anger become a ruler in your soul. Anger was never designed to sit on the throne of your decisions. Do not let fear become your counselor. Fear will always advise you to disobey purpose. Do not let offense become your identity. Offense will keep you chained to what happened instead of free for what God assigned. Do not let lust become your master. Lust will mortgage your future for a moment. Do not let comparison become your mirror. Comparison will make you despise your own grace. Do not let insecurity become your government. Insecurity will make you reject opportunities that were sent to develop you. These things may speak, but they must not rule. They may knock, but they must not enter. They may rise, but they must not legislate. You cannot stop every thought from appearing, but you can stop that thought from becoming law. You cannot stop every emotion from rising, but you can stop that emotion from becoming king. 2 Corinthians 10:5 says, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. That is not passive language. Casting down, bringing into captivity, that is government language. That is warfare language. That means mental discipline is spiritual warfare. You do not negotiate with thoughts that exalt themselves against God's truth. You arrest them. You bring them into captivity. You make them bow to Christ. Some of you have been entertaining thoughts you were supposed to arrest. You sit with fear. You rehearse offense. You feed insecurity. You replay failure. You imagine defeat. You meditate on what they said, what they did, what you lost, what might happen, what could go wrong, and then you wonder why you have no peace. Peace cannot dwell where every illegal thought is given residence. Peace is not weakness. Peace is not pretending nothing is wrong. Peace is not emotional numbness. Peace is the result of alignment under God's order. When your mind agrees with truth, peace comes. When your emotions submit to the Spirit, peace comes. When your appetite bows to assignment, peace comes. When your inner world returns to proper government, peace comes. Where there is order, there is peace. Where there is peace, there is strength. Where there is strength, there is progress. The Bible says God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. That means when confusion dominates your inner life, God is not the architect of that condition. He may be calling you out of it. He may be speaking truth into it. He may be giving you power over it. But he did not design you to be ruled by mental chaos, emotional storms, and spiritual disorder. You were created in his image. And if you are created in his image, then order is not foreign to you. Order is your original design. So begin to audit your inner world. What thought keeps ruling you? What emotion keeps deciding for you? What appetite keeps negotiating with your assignment? What fear keeps canceling your obedience? What offense keeps poisoning your response? What insecurity keeps shrinking your voice? What imagination keeps rehearsing defeat before you ever begin? Do not answer quickly. Sit with it. Be honest. Because what you do not confront, you cannot govern. And what you refuse to govern will continue to govern you. You must learn to interrupt the internal conversation that contradicts your destiny. When the thought says you cannot do it, answer with truth. When fear says you will fail, answer with obedience. When offense says hold on to the wound, answer with forgiveness. When lust says you need this now, answer with assignment. When insecurity says you are not enough, answer with identity. Do not let your mind preach rebellion while your mouth quotes scripture. This is where discipline becomes deep. It is not only getting up early. It is not only making a list. It is not only cleaning a space. It is bringing the invisible government of your life under the authority of Christ. It is refusing to let your soul become a nation ruled by strangers. It is saying, my thoughts will not rule me. My emotions will not rule me. My appetite will not rule me. My past will not rule me. Christ is Lord here. So stop blaming the outside for what is being produced on the inside. Govern your inner world. Cast down the imagination. Capture the thought. Correct the emotion. Restrain the appetite. Heal the offense. Submit the fear. Bring your soul under order. Because when the inside is governed, the outside begins to change. Peace replaces panic. Clarity replaces confusion. Authority replaces reaction. And your life begins to move from internal chaos into kingdom order. Now, once your inner world begins to come under order, you must look at one of the greatest territories God has given you, time. Because time is not just a schedule issue. Time is territory. It is the space where purpose is developed, obedience is proven, discipline is trained, and destiny is either built or wasted. I want you to hear me clearly. Whoever controls your time controls the development of your purpose. If distraction controls your time, distraction is discipling your future. If appetite controls your time, appetite is shaping your destiny. If other people's emergencies control your time, then other people are governing the territory God assigned to you. Every day reveals who is in charge. You say you want dominion. But can you govern 24 hours? You say you want influence, but can you govern your morning? You say you want increase, but can you govern your attention? Because time is the platform through which purpose is fulfilled. God does not give you destiny outside of time. He gives you days, hours, seasons, opportunities, and moments. And what you do with those moments becomes the evidence of your government. This is why unmanaged time always produces unnecessary stress. You wake up late, rush into pressure, react to messages, chase urgent things, neglect important things, and then wonder why your life feels scattered. You are busy, but you are not building. You are moving, but you are not progressing. You are answering everything that screams, but ignoring everything that carries your destiny. Urgent things scream for your attention. But important things build your destiny. The urgent says, answer me now. The important says, develop me daily. The urgent demands reaction. The important requires discipline. The urgent can make you feel productive because you are constantly responding. But the important is what prepares you, matures you, strengthens you, and positions you for the assignment God placed on your life. Prayer may not scream, but it builds you. Study may not scream, but it feeds you. Planning may not scream, but it protects you. Exercise may not scream, but it strengthens you. Forgiveness may not scream, but it frees you. Finishing the assignment may not scream, but it qualifies you. Do not confuse noise with importance. Many noisy things are not necessary, and many necessary things are quiet. And let me tell you something, wasted time rarely introduces itself as rebellion. It often comes disguised as rest, disguised as entertainment, disguised as scrolling, disguised as unnecessary conversations, disguised as checking one more thing, watching one more clip, answering one more message, thinking about one more offense. Sometimes wasted time is emotional avoidance. You are not resting, you are hiding. You are avoiding the decision, the assignment, the discipline, the call, the responsibility. Rest restores purpose. Escape postpones it. Rest gives you strength to return to assignment. Escape steals strength so you never confront it. So do not call everything rest just because it feels easy. If you finish it more drained, more distracted, more confused, more convicted, and less willing to obey God, that was not rest. That was territory surrendered. Habakkuk 2:2 says, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Notice this. Vision must be written before running becomes accurate. If the vision is not plain, your time will be captured by whatever is loudest. A written vision gives time a command. A written vision gives discipline a direction. A written vision tells your day what it is serving. Some of you are tired because your time has no instruction. Your hours are unemployed. Your mornings are unassigned. Your evenings are unguarded. Your attention is available to anything that knocks. No. Write the vision. Make it plain. What has God called you to build? What must be developed in this season? What habit must be established? What skill must be sharpened? What relationship must be stewarded? What assignment must be finished? Then give your time a command. Set the hour. Protect the morning. Define the priority. Remove the distraction. Finish the assignment. Review the day. Do not just drift through the day and then ask why nothing changed. Govern the day before the day governs you. Set the hour means decide when obedience begins. Protect the morning means do not give the first strength of your mind to confusion, messages, entertainment, and reaction. Define the priority means choose what matters before pressure chooses for you. Remove the distraction means stop pretending you are strong while leaving every temptation within reach. Finish the assignment means stop celebrating beginnings while abandoning completions. Review the day means examine your stewardship and ask, did my time obey my purpose today? This is dominion practice, not just time management. Dominion. Because every hour is asking, who is governing here? Is purpose governing? Is discipline governing? Is God's order governing? Or is mood governing? Is distraction governing? Is appetite governing? Is fear governing? Take back your time. Take back your morning. Take back your focus. Take back your attention. Stop letting the enemy steal your destiny in 5-minute pieces. 5 minutes here, 20 minutes there, an hour there, a night there, a week gone, a year gone, and then you say, I don't know where the time went. It went where there was no government. Today, put law over your time. Put vision over your schedule. Put assignment over appetite. Put purpose over pressure. Because when time comes under order, progress begins to appear. Peace replaces panic. Focus replaces frustration. Consistency replaces chaos. And the day stops being something you survive and becomes territory you govern for the glory of God. Now, when you put assignment over time, you must also put assignment over appetite. Because time is not the only territory that reveals government. Desire reveals government too. What you crave, what you reach for, what you keep returning to, what you cannot say no to, that thing begins to show you who is sitting on the throne of your life. I want you to hear me clearly. Appetite is not evil. God created appetite. Hunger is not evil. Sleep is not evil. Pleasure is not evil. Desire is not evil. The body is not evil. But appetite becomes dangerous when appetite becomes king. Anything God created to serve you becomes destructive when it begins to rule you. Food was designed to strengthen the body, not control the body. Sleep was designed to restore you, not become an escape from responsibility. Pleasure was designed to be enjoyed under order, not pursued without boundaries. Money was designed to serve purpose, not feed every impulse. Media was designed to communicate, inform, and sometimes refresh, not occupy the throne of your attention. Sexual desire was designed by God, but it must be governed by God, because anything powerful without order becomes dangerous. A person cannot walk in dominion while being ruled by appetite. You cannot govern territory while your cravings govern you. You cannot carry authority while your body is making all the decisions. You cannot say, God, use me, and then allow every desire to command your schedule, your spending, your emotions, your eyes, your mouth, and your private decisions. Paul said in 1 Corinthians 6:12, all things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. Then he says, I will not be brought under the power of any. That is government language. Paul is saying, I may have permission, but I will not surrender rulership. In other words, the question is not only is it allowed, the question is, does it master me? The question is not only can I do this, the question is, what does this do to my assignment? Some things are permissible, but they are not profitable. Some things are available, but they are not aligned. Some things are pleasurable, but they are not purposeful. Some things feel good in the moment, but they weaken your government for tomorrow. And you must be mature enough to say, I am not calling it sin to impress people, and I am not calling it freedom just because I want it. I am asking whether this desire serves my assignment. That is not shame, that is wisdom. Discipline is not hatred of the body. Discipline is honor for the body. Discipline says, my body is too valuable to be ruled by impulse. My mind is too important to be filled with garbage. My energy is too sacred to be wasted on excess. My future is too weighty to be sold for temporary pleasure. Every uncontrolled appetite collects taxes from destiny. It takes energy, it takes clarity, it takes credibility, it takes peace, it takes focus, it takes authority. You think you are just indulging a small thing, but that small thing is taking some from your future. A little excess here, a little compromise there, a little overspending here, a little overeating there, a little lust there, a little scrolling there, a little laziness there. And before long, your strength is gone, your focus is broken, your peace is disturbed, and your confidence is weakened. Do not let appetite collect taxes from your assignment. Do not let your cravings spend what your destiny needs. Your purpose requires strength. Your calling requires clarity. Your leadership requires credibility. Your future requires focus. So stop feeding what is fighting your assignment. Ask yourself, what desire has been making decisions for me? Is food making decisions for me? Is sleep making decisions for me? Is comfort making decisions for me? Is entertainment making decisions for me? Is sexual desire making decisions for me? Is spending making decisions for me? Is the need to be seen, liked, touched, praised, or distracted making decisions for me? Do not answer religiously. Answer honestly. Because whatever you cannot confront, you cannot govern. And whatever you cannot govern will eventually govern you. The Spirit of God does not destroy desire. He brings desire into order. He teaches appetite to serve assignment. He teaches the body to serve purpose. He teaches pleasure to remain within boundaries. He teaches money to obey vision. He teaches your eyes to honor covenant. He teaches your mouth to speak life. He teaches your hands to build instead of consume. So bring your appetite back under the government of the Spirit. Tell your body, you are not my master. Tell your cravings, you do not own my future. Tell your impulses, you do not decide my obedience. Tell your desires, you will serve the assignment of God on my life. Fast when appetite gets loud. Rest when your body needs order. Eat with wisdom. Sleep with discipline. Spend with purpose. Watch with discernment. Touch with covenant. Speak with restraint. Choose with vision. Do not wait until desire becomes destructive before you govern it. Govern it now. Because dominion is not proven by having no desires. Dominion is proven when desire has a lawful place. Peace comes when appetite is submitted. Strength comes when the body is governed. Clarity comes when pleasure has boundaries. Authority comes when the Spirit sits on the throne. Stop being ruled by what you were created to rule. Bring appetite under assignment. Bring desire under dominion. Bring the body under order. And when your appetite bows to God's purpose, your life begins to carry a new strength, a clean strength, a governed strength, the strength of a person who is no longer mastered by impulse, but led by the Spirit of God. Now, once appetite comes under assignment, you must look at the atmosphere where your assignment is supposed to grow. Because your environment will either cooperate with your discipline or negotiate against it every day. Your room should not fight your future. Your desk should not fight your focus. Your calendar should not fight your priorities. Your phone should not fight your purity. Your finances should not fight your vision. Your relationships should not fight your obedience. I want you to hear me clearly. You cannot keep asking God for a disciplined life while living in an environment that trains you to be undisciplined. If everything around you is scattered, available, noisy, tempting, cluttered, and uncontrolled, then every day you are forcing your will to fight what your environment is feeding. That is why some people are tired. They are not only tired from the assignment, they are tired from constantly wrestling against spaces, systems, people, and patterns they never brought under order. The Bible says that all things be done decently and in order. That means order is not decoration. Order is agreement. Order is when the visible structure of your life begins to agree with the invisible purpose of God inside you. Your environment should say yes to your assignment. Your environment should make obedience easier, not harder. Your environment should remind you of who you are becoming, not pull you back into who you were. And clutter is not just physical. Clutter comes in many forms. Physical clutter, emotional clutter, digital clutter, relational clutter, spiritual clutter. A messy room can drain your focus. A crowded desk can confuse your mind. A phone full of distractions can steal your prayer. A calendar with no priorities can waste your week. A budget with no order can expose your appetite. A relationship with no boundary can poison your peace. Some of you need to clean more than your room. You need to clean your conversations. You need to clean your phone. You need to clean your schedule. You need to clean your spending. You need to clean the emotional attachments that keep pulling you into confusion. You need to remove what keeps speaking against your future. Clear the space. Set the boundary. Delete the distraction. Arrange the tools. Prepare the night before. Make obedience easy. Do not wake up and negotiate with disorder. Lay out what you need. Decide what matters. Put the book where you can reach it. Put the temptation where you cannot reach it. Put the appointment in the calendar. Put the money in its assignment. Put distance between you and what keeps defeating your discipline. Stop saying, I need more willpower. When your environment is built for weakness, if you want to pray, create a place for prayer. If you want to study, prepare a place for study. If you want to save, remove careless spending from easy access. If you want purity, stop carrying secret doors to compromise in your pocket. If you want peace, stop entertaining relationships that constantly manufacture confusion. Your environment is preaching to you. The question is, what sermon is it preaching? Is it preaching focus or distraction? Order or chaos? Purpose or appetite? Peace or pressure? Assignment or escape? Because whatever you keep around you keeps influencing you. Do not spiritualize laziness. Do not call disorder personality. Do not call clutter creativity. There is a level of destiny that requires structure. There is a level of authority that requires arrangement. There is a level of peace that requires you to remove what keeps violating it. So start small. One drawer, one desk, one calendar, one phone folder, one spending habit, one boundary, one relationship. Bring order there, then bring order to the next place. Because when your environment begins to agree with your purpose, discipline stops feeling like constant resistance and starts becoming a lifestyle. Peace replaces pressure. Focus replaces friction. Strength replaces struggle. And your life begins to move with the clean authority of a person whose surroundings are no longer sabotaging their assignment, but serving it. Now, when your environment begins to agree with your assignment, something begins to happen in your authority. You stop forcing influence and you begin to carry it. You stop begging for recognition and you begin to walk in readiness. Because authority flows from alignment. Not noise, not ambition, not exposure, not personality. Alignment. I want you to hear me clearly. Discipline before dominion means God trains internal rulers before he releases external territory. He does not give government to disorder. He does not entrust territory to a person who is still being ruled by moods, impulses, offenses, appetites, and confusion. God is not trying to punish you by requiring discipline. He is preparing you so that what he gives you does not destroy you. Many people want authority before alignment. They want the platform before the private life is governed. They want influence before their emotions are submitted. They want increase before their habits are structured. They want to lead nations, families, companies, churches, movements, and conversations. But they have not yet learned to lead themselves. And that is dangerous. Because whatever is ungoverned in you will eventually misgovern what is entrusted to you. Kingdom authority is not merely position. It is not merely platform. It is not merely title. It is not merely visibility. You can have a title and still have no authority. You can have a platform and still have no weight. You can be visible and still be unstable. Real authority is the fruit of alignment, maturity, responsibility, and obedience. It is what begins to rest on a person whose life has come under the order of God. Look at leadership. A father cannot properly govern a home while refusing to govern his anger. A mother cannot properly shape children while being ruled by fear and disorder. A pastor cannot shepherd souls while his private life is in rebellion. An entrepreneur cannot steward increase while appetite controls the money. A creator cannot carry a public voice while comparison governs the heart. A leader cannot keep giving direction outwardly while living without direction inwardly. This is why God begins with the person before he expands the assignment. He works on the motives. He works on the habits. He works on the appetite. He works on the schedule. He works on the tongue. He works on the mind. He works on the secret places. Because authority is not first proven in public. Authority is first proven when no one is watching and you still obey. Jesus said, he that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much. That means the little thing is not little. The small discipline is a test of government. The hidden obedience is a seed of authority. The private decision is preparing public capacity. How can God trust you with more if the present thing is still unmanaged? How can he increase territory when the current territory is still under confusion? Stop despising the small places where God is training your rulership. The morning routine, the budget, the conversation you refuse to enter, the appetite you restrain, the forgiveness you choose, the assignment you finish, the room you put in order, the hour you protect. These are not small things. These are government exercises. These are places where heaven is asking, can you be trusted? When self-government begins to mature, you become predictable to purpose. Your yes means yes. Your no means no. Your priorities are clear. Your emotions are submitted. Your habits are structured. Your words become measured. Your time receives instruction. Your appetite understands boundaries. Your environment supports your assignment. You are no longer a mystery to your own destiny. That is powerful. Because an undisciplined person is unpredictable. Today they are committed. Tomorrow they are distracted. Today they are inspired, tomorrow they are offended. Today they are focused, tomorrow they are scattered. Today they obey, tomorrow they negotiate. Purpose cannot build securely on that kind of instability. But when discipline becomes law inside you, purpose can trust you. Your life begins to say, I am available, I am ordered, I am aligned. And when you are aligned, authority does not have to be advertised. It is felt. There is a weight that comes from obedience. There is a clarity that comes from order. There is a peace that comes from submission. There is a confidence that comes from knowing your life is not fighting your assignment. You do not have to be loud to be authoritative. You do not have to be controlling to be powerful. You carry dominion because you are under dominion. That is the secret. You cannot walk in kingdom authority while resisting kingdom order. Authority flows downward from submission. When your life comes under God's government, then God can release government through your life. When your thoughts bow, your words gain weight. When your emotions bow, your decisions gain strength. When your appetite bows, your body becomes a servant of destiny. When your time bows, your days become fruitful. When your environment bows, your assignment gains room to grow. So stop chasing authority and start pursuing alignment. Stop trying to look powerful and become ordered. Stop trying to be seen and become faithful. Stop trying to command what you have not yet qualified to carry. Bring the inner life under God. Bring the private life under God. Bring the daily life under God. Bring the hidden places under God. Because when alignment comes, authority follows. Peace replaces panic. Focus replaces frustration. Consistency replaces chaos. Authority replaces anxiety. Dominion begins to look natural because order has become internal. You are no longer striving to control everything around you. You are walking as a person governed by the Spirit, submitted to the King, disciplined in the secret place, and ready to be trusted with territory. Now this is where the disciplined life becomes more than personal improvement. It becomes a witness. It begins to testify that the kingdom of God is not confusion, not reaction, not bondage, not impulse, but righteousness, peace, order, authority, and purpose under the government of God. Look at the journey. Self-government begins with order. Order grows through discipline. Discipline creates capacity. Capacity protects purpose. Purpose qualifies you for dominion. This is not about trying to look religious. This is not about building an impressive routine so people can admire your discipline. No. This is about becoming the kind of person God can trust with territory because you have first allowed Him to govern you. I want you to hear me clearly. Discipline is not the price of losing freedom. Discipline is the kingdom pathway into rightful dominion. The undisciplined person thinks freedom means doing whatever they feel, but that is not freedom. That is slavery with a comfortable name. True freedom is when your spirit, your mind, your body, your time, your appetite, your environment, and your decisions are no longer ruled by disorder. True freedom is when purpose can move through your life without being blocked by your habits. You were not created for chaos. You were made in the image of God, and God is a God of order. He separated light from darkness. He set seasons in place. He gave boundaries to the seas. He created systems, times, principles, and laws. So when you bring your life into order, you are not becoming artificial. You are returning to design. Order is part of your original nature. Discipline is not self-help. Discipline is identity restored. That is why your life must begin to preach before your mouth does. Your consistency must preach. Your peace must preach. Your priorities must preach. Your restraint must preach. Your stewardship must preach. When people see a life that is not ruled by panic, appetite, offense, distraction, and confusion, they are seeing evidence of another government. They are seeing the kingdom operating in a human vessel. So do not reduce this to a message you enjoyed. Make it a decision you live. This week, choose one area to govern, not 10. One. Choose one habit to establish. Choose one distraction to remove. Choose one appetite to submit. Choose one priority to protect. Start there. Govern that territory. Bring it under God's order. Maybe it is your morning. Maybe it is your mouth. Maybe it is your spending. Maybe it is your phone. Maybe it is your sleep. Maybe it is your eating. Maybe it is your emotions. Maybe it is that relationship that keeps pulling you into confusion. Whatever it is, stop negotiating with it. Stop excusing it. Stop calling it small when it is stealing strength from your assignment. Said the law, this is how I will live. This is what I will protect. This is what I will remove. This is what I will submit. This is what I will finish. That is how dominion begins. Not with applause, not with a title, not with a platform. Dominion begins when a person stands before God and says, Lord, govern me so you can govern through me. And I want you to make this declaration not just in your mind, but with your mouth and with your action. Comment the truth you are choosing to live out. Say, I will govern myself before I ask for greater dominion. Or write the area you are bringing under God's order. Say, I am bringing my time under order. I am bringing my appetite under order. I am bringing my emotions under order. I am bringing my environment under order. Let your words become agreement with your obedience. Because heaven responds to alignment. When your inner life is ordered, your outer authority becomes legitimate. When your private life is submitted, your public life gains weight. When your daily habits agree with your divine assignment, peace replaces panic, focus replaces frustration, strength replaces instability, and dominion becomes natural. You are not called to be ruled by the world you were born to influence. You are not called to be mastered by the appetites you were designed to govern. You are not called to drift through time when time was given to serve your purpose. You are called to walk as a disciplined son, a disciplined daughter, a kingdom representative, a steward of territory, a witness of divine order in the earth. So rise into order, rise into discipline, rise into self-government. Bring your life under the King, and you will begin to carry the authority of the kingdom. And as you continue this journey, subscribe and keep growing with teachings that call you back to your kingdom identity, your disciplined purpose, and the authority God designed you to carry.